I don't know if it's coming through on camera or not for the audio, but I have a heat shield rattling and it's driving me friggin' nuts. Luckily, I'm getting that fixed soon. But the topic of today's video is not my rattling heat shield. It's what are the plans with my 2017 Shelby GT350. Logically, there's only three ways this can go. Either I build this car to be a track weapon, which it already is, and build upon that even more. I build it for high horsepower performance, or I do a combination of both. Now obviously I have not taken this to the track yet, but that is my intention. I want to actually take this on track and drive it for what it was built for. I'm working on when that can actually happen between my work schedule, the days I already have off, when the events are happening. It's really tough to find something to line up. I may only get one track day this entire summer because the way my work is, I have to take vacations way in advance. So if one of those vacation days or a weekend that I already don't have off doesn't coincide with a track day, then I'm kind of out of luck at this point. But my goal is to bring this to the track and just to see how I like track driving with it. Is it something that I want to get into like a lot more, or something that I want to do like, maybe once every summer just for the fun of it? Now that brings up the question of why not build it for power and take it to the track too? That's mainly because the two always don't really mix together that well. The power level that this is at when it's stock, and this makes a little bit more because of the mods that are on it already, but you start throwing tons of power at the car and it just doesn't seem to want to track as well. I don't mean like handling all that stuff. I just mean you start building a car that's built more for straight line speed, and it kind of takes away the aspect of the track part of it. I mean, you look at people that race Miatas on track, and those things are built really well for track driving, and the way they mod them, they don't need big horsepower to do the track. But does that mean that I would never start throwing power at this thing? I've already looked at power adders. It doesn't mean I'm getting one for it. I'm just kind of weighing my options and seeing what the price point is. And if I were to throw a boost to this, which at this time I can or cannot confirm if that will happen, but if I were to throw a boost to this, it would be a turbo kit. I love the root style superchargers that are on the Terminators and twin screws that people put on them. I love those style. A lot of people put centrifugal superchargers on these. They put Whipples on them. But if I was going to do anything to this big power wise, I would definitely go with a twin turbo setup on it. So I guess what my thought process is, if I take this to the track and it's fun, but I don't want to do it all the time, because going to the track is really expensive. You have the fee just for the track day. You have track insurance, which you really shouldn't go to the track without getting insurance on it for the day. Brake pad wear, tire wear, most likely a secondary tire setup. It's a lot. I mean, you're talking about another set of wheels, another set of tires. It's just a lot to really throw at the car all at once, and I don't want to jump in head first and do all that right from the start. I want to at least get a day or two under my belt of going, and then kind of reevaluate it from there as far as, is this something that I want to go in, full steam ahead, go all out track build on it, or am I going to do it, maybe a couple times a year, something fun to do, and maybe throw some big power at it too. That's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Now you may be wondering, what can I possibly do to this to make it a better track car? Because I mentioned building it more for the track. There's actually a lot of improvements you can do on the S550 platform that makes it more track oriented and better handling. This car does tramline pretty bad. It has 305s in the front, so any time I hit any imperfections in the road, it wants to pull and push, and you can feel it pretty bad. But there's some enhancements that you can do chassis-wise to this to make it better. I have like a whole list of stuff on Steeda that I have picked out that I would like to do to this. Whether I turn it into like a real good track car or not, I'll probably still do a lot of these upgrades anyway, just to make the car better, overall aspect of the car. And I'll throw some of those pictures of those mods that I'm talking about as the video continues. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head, so I'll just insert it through the magic of video editing at a later time. Now I do want to get this on the dyno. I want to see what it's actually putting out for power. Honestly, the power in this is really, really good for not being boosted. It's quite impressive. When this thing gets probably 35 to 4,000 RPMs and up, it starts pulling quite hard, and I just really would like to see what this is putting down for power as it compares to what my Cobra puts down, which of course is a lot more, but you're talking built and boosted versus NA and a couple mods thrown at it. I think I'm at the point now where I could fairly do a review on the car, what I think of it. I've had it a couple months now. I have a good amount of seat time in it now that the weather's turned nice and I've had more time to drive around with it, where I can give a fair assessment on this car for what I think of it. Of course, that's not this video. That will be later on. That probably will be the next video that I record as far as my thoughts on this car, my overall impressions. Did this car live up to my expectations of 6 years ago when I first wanted to get one of these? Because I've mentioned before that I almost bought one of these other than my Terminator, but at the time 6 years ago these were way too much money because they were like brand new back then, and it was more than I wanted to spend on a car. Now things are different. The prices came down, my rate of pay went up, so it's a lot different. And I didn't pay full price for one of these as it was brand new, but it's still a big investment either way. And when I do the review on this car, I'll update everyone on that. I left some things out of the video that I did with the overall everything done to the car video. This is still a Gen 1 engine in this car, and a lot of people say that the Gen 1 Voodoos had problems. A lot of them would blow up, had oil consumption issues, stuff like that. I will get into that in the next video when I do like the review of the car, as far as have I discovered any discrepancies with this car as far as oil consumption. It's a 30,000 mile car, as I mentioned in my last video. Still has a Gen 1 Voodoo. That should probably tell you a lot right there. I do have some more great videos coming up with the Shelby, some events I'm doing, some really cool trips I'm doing with it. I have the Mustang Cruise to go to this year, so there's a lot of Mustang related content coming up now that it's finally really great weather. But let me know what you think of the mod path I have planned with the Shelby, and what would you do with it if you had this car? Would you build it as just a track focused car? Would you want to build it for big power, or kind of do a little of both? As you can tell in the video, I'm a little bit undecided. It all depends on how I like doing the track and how much track time I can actually do. So it's kind of a wait and see type of thing. But I'm sure at some point I'll get it all figured out. But until then, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.